Let's give them something to talk about.
Go where everybody knows your name.
Oh, baby!
Ooh,
We here, baby. We here on Wednesday, February 16th, 2022. Another edition of the Grassi Perna Show, otherwise known as
G
G
P
P.
S.
So I'm Grassi Brandon Perna. Here we are once again, folks. We're gonna kind of, wrap up the 2021 season, even though like there's still technically like a month left in it, but it'd be technically on like the calendar, but it's fine. We're gonna kind of wrap things up. We're gonna do a little bit of some power rankings of like, maybe the best teams and worst teams heading into the off season. On top of that, we're going to take a look at who could go from worst to first, who could be the next Cincinnati Bengals next season. We're going to take a look at all that jazz like it's the B movie.
With Jerry Seinfeld?
Yes.
Wow.
So I heard you like jazz.
Can we get Jerry on the show?
Honestly, we should. We should get Jerry Seinfeld on the show.
That'd be great. Let's get Jerry. Let's get Larry David. Let's get Brad Pitt, DiCaprio.
Yep.
Bill Burr.
And we're all in a jacuzzi.
Ooh, it's loosey-goosey behind the scenes. These guys are just having a drink in the hot tub, and they're going to say some crazy stuff.
Loosey-goosey jacuzzi coming this fall to Tom Grassi and Brandon Perna's channel. Yeah. All right.
Why are we doing the show today? We should have taken the week off is my first question. Second question is not a question. Actually, it's a statement because I popped Good Morning Football on for a little bit, and they were running out of things to talk about. And they're like, why are we doing a 3-hour show today? I was like, man, if they're having trouble figuring out what to discuss the week after the Super Bowl, then we're all feeling it. I think McAfee took the week off.
He did. He had a great interview with Brock Lesnar, I will say. Like, I absolutely loved that entire interview.
Oh, is that where he broke the chair or whatever?
He broke the table. Yeah. He's like, whoa, don't break it. And he just goes, bam, bam. He just smashes the entire thing. It's great. Wow. It's great. Yeah, we listen, things are scarce out there right now. In a couple of weeks, things are going to pick up because you're going to have that not free agency. You're going to have the franchise tag designation, and we'll see what happens with one old Devontae Adams. We'll be talking about that. And then, of course, listen, in less than a month, we got free agency, baby. We got that free agency coming in hot. So lots of things to talk about. It literally begins a month from today, March 16th at 4 p.m. Free agency. Going to be a good time. But now, I want to take some time and kind of recap a little bit, Brandon Perna.
Okay.
Recap the season.
Recap my life.
Oh, okay. First you were afraid. You were petrified. You were editing vids that would get you demonetized. You spent so many nights with lots of liquid, but you grew strong and you stopped looking at dongs. Oh, yes, he's Perna from That's Good Sports. Sorry.
He edited the poem, but now he's a YouTube bastard. Okay, there's some news.
Shocking, Dylan.
Zach Taylor extended through 2026. And this is also Kevin O'Connell signed. They inked the deal with the Vikings.
Boo.
Boo.
I will subscribe.
Oh, here, let me see if I can find this real quick.
Yeah, Kevin O'Connell. Oh, yeah, you saw that Deshaun Watson thing about wanting to go to, you retweeted it.
Yeah, how did that make you feel, Tom?
I looked at that and I was like, oh, that's gross. But then I was like, oh, you know what? Probably be like the second most controversial number 4 to wear purple.
Oh,
so, you know what? It works out.
Nice joke. Damn it.
Yep.
That will be in my news episode later. I might just steal that joke. But
I'm going to take that one.
I'll credit you.
You mean you're not going to be NFL memes? So, yeah. Zach Taylor signed through the 2026 season. And I think that overall, there's some happiness with that. But as I mentioned on Monday's show and last week as well, going through the Bengals season, a lot of people talking about Zach Taylor's decision-making, talking about, some game plans that were not so great. The play calling, maybe not so great. Talking about Joe Burrow maybe covering it up. I mean, I think everyone and their mother saw this extension coming. I mean, he was the lowest paid head coach in the league. He took help take his team to a Super Bowl. And I think Zach Taylor is a good coach. Now, is he going to be the guy that is going to be consistently good and be able to get them back there? I don't know about that one.
Yeah. Well, time will tell. He's still learning. He's young. He's evolving. You can look at every coach that's lost a Super Bowl and point out a couple plays they called wrong in the game. Pretty sure Kyle Shanahan and Dan Quinn know the wrath of that. Hell, Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl with the Eagles. Still got canned a few years later. The thing that Zach Taylor has is Joe Burrow. And he can ride that wave for a very long time because Joe Burrow will make up for so many deficiencies.
Like Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
Arna getting a 50.
Whoa. Oh. I knew I did this show for a reason this morning, Kyle. Kyle, you good man. Good man. Jags season depends on free agency and draft. Love the show. Yeah, I don't think the Jags are a worst to first team, but and Doug Peterson, speak of the devil, down there in Jacksonville. But I don't think Trevor Lawrence is as bad as he played this season. So I think there should be a little hope for Jags fans.
What do you want to give him, Perna?
Oh, let's see here. Jags fan.
And I was looking.
Okay, I'll give you a classic because I'm with you in spirit, Kyle.
We ride and we die together.
Nailed it.
And I've got, your former offensive coordinator, Nathaniel Hackett's my current head coach. So there's another connection to the Jags. Let's just play connect the dots. Say something to us and we will connect how our team is connected to them.
The Packers lost to the Broncos in Super Bowl 32.
Yep. Brett Favre.
Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, I'm working on a video about the Broncos being like the Shanahan's Broncos being like the 90s version of Moneyball. And the Ed McCaffrey block on Brian Williams in that Super Bowl is something I rewatched. Yeah. Slightly shaved on the right side. Let's see here. No, yeah, I got like a little, if I'm being honest, it gets a little weak in this area. So the mustache kind of covers that up too. Also, I'm going to start letting it grow in. It's going to start growing in. The monkey tail beard.
Bye-bye. Farewell. So long. Auf Wiedersehen. Anyway, so you were saying you're doing that video, which sounds like a cool video.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. There's a lot of work needs to go into it. But there's that shot of Ed McCaffrey blocking Brian Williams, and then he points down to him. It's such a classic moment. And I can't believe it slipped my mind. But you just brought up Super Bowl 32, so I just connected the dots to something I was working on yesterday.
So glad. So glad you did that. So glad you did that. Now, the title of our video today is teams that could go from worst to first. Because if we got anything out of this season, first of all, we saw two completely different teams in the Super Bowl. with very different ideologies and methods to get there. One going all in, winning the bowl, and then you had the Bengals, who honestly were in rebuild, but they had a franchise QB, so it made it much, much easier. So if you are a team that was hot diddly garbage last season, you got some hope that maybe you won't be a complete dumpster fire next year, because you look at the Bengals and you're like, wow, maybe. So Perna, I feel how we should do this is we should go. You give a team, explain why you think they should go worst to first, and then we'll counter and we'll have some fun with this.
Okay. So in order to do this,
Eduardo, he's going to be their future quarterback. There's that connection there.
Don't you dare put that disrespect on my team. Kirk Cousins reportedly also not willing to take a pay cut to stay with the Vikings
because he doesn't really want to win.
Yeah,
Yeah, Bears.
If he was a cousin of mine, he would be the cousin not invited to the family reunions. Let's just put it that way.
That's valid.
That's a guy who.
Now here's a guy
who got that first completely guaranteed contract, right? Plays good, but he thinks he's better than he is. And that annoys me. That really chaps my butt.
Grinds my gears.
I will pretend like I think I'm better than I am, but at my core, I know I am not very good at anything except for growing body hair. And when I see guys who think they shouldn't take a little bit of a pay cut to help their team when they didn't even get to the playoffs? Come on, Kirk. All right, here we go. Bottom feeding teams that can rise to the top.
Yum, 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 yum.
Now let's start with the two easy ones.
Okay.
Well, there are three easy ones, really. One is the Denver Broncos at 7-10. I can sell myself on them going to first. You've got the Seahawks. And then, of course, Browns, Ravens, both at 8-9.
Yeah.
And I think you can make an easy case for the Ravens as the only real contender with the Bengals to win that division. But so many of these depend on the quarterback because Steelers don't know who their quarterback's going to be.
Nope.
Broncos don't know who their quarterback's going to be. Seahawks,
Kirk Cousins.
Probably Russell Wilson, but that's not set in stone. If Kirk Cousins leaves because the Vikings do go after one Deshaun Watson, they're not worse, but they could, for the first time, actually compete with the Packers in that division. Deshaun, oh, dang it. I don't want to buy Bears gear.
Yes, you do.
Did you click on the Bears logo? How about buying some Bears merch?
Please buy her merch, please.
Thank you, NFL. So let's start with, I don't know, Seattle. If they keep Russell Wilson, then I think, yeah, they've got a good chance to compete in that division. Really, him getting injured this year is what cost him a chance to win a very competitive division. There's maybe some uncertainty with the Rams. If Aaron Donald retires, all of those teams are going to be celebrating like they won the Super Bowl. Stafford, he'll come back. That keeps the Rams competitive. And I saw a thing about the Rams, how easily they will fix their cap situation. Again, they don't have a first-round draft pick, but if Aaron Donald comes back and they do everything they want to do in terms of freeing up cap space, I think they'll be fine.
I think what you do is you institute a new policy in the NFL, and it's called the NFL draft auction. And for teams that are, have problematic cap spaces,
right?
They go, okay, we're going to auction off our first round pick. Other teams bid on it with their salary cap, and then it gets added to theirs whenever, they sell it for. Done. That sounds like a Madden thing, and I want it instituted right now, and I just made it up.
Subscribe. I like that. What if players could sell their bodies for draft picks?
So like
sex.
Oh, okay. I think that's just called prostitution with extra steps.
Yeah, but how do we make that work for the draft, Tom? That's what I want to know. Could we make sex tapes NFTs for NFL teams?
I mean, do you then go into like power rankings of like most eligible players and bachelors, and then and then like, so it's a draft basically of the most attractive people. Everything about this sounds like sex trafficking, and this just sounds bad.
Yeah, I guess that doesn't work. Here's what's interesting in the NFC West. The 49ers, the Cardinals, the Seahawks, all of their defenses allowed 21.5 points per game exactly, which was a 4/10 of a point better than the Rams. So even though the Rams walked away with that, I think you could argue Seattle's defense, in its current state, without any improvements, can compete in that division.
Real quick to that, we're actually going to talk about that too. The Jets don't have the biggest cap space. They're up there. The Dolphins are actually number 1. The Jets are number 6. It's Dolphins, Chargers, Jaguars, Bengals, Broncos, and Jets. And then the Seahawks too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would imagine that they're going to go potentially after some offensive linemen. I think Armstead is, if he's not going to be with the Saints, I think he's going to get some looks. I mean, if I'm the Bengals, I'm spending a lot of money to try and get him, because the Bengals are, honestly, I think they're in one of the best positions in the NFL right now. They're in top 5 for cap space. They know exactly where their holes are. Invest in the offensive line through the draft and through free agency because they have the money. Joe Burrow's on his rookie deal, and like, go try to get one within these next couple years.
Yeah, the one thing I was looking at the Bengals cap situation this week. The one thing they do have are a lot of decisions to make in free agency with their current players.
Hold on 1 second, Perna. Dustin with a fitty.
Oh,
it's probably use that option to get out of cap hell. Yep. Hey.
All right. So let's see here. God, there's so many.
So yeah, I think the Bengals do have some free agents that they're going to have to re-sign 100%.
Right. Oh, damn it. Give me
Uzama.
Yeah. Number 1. Yeah, that's because in my Bengals hype video, their season in 5 minutes, which was maybe my all-time worst performing video of the entire year. I said they got to make CJ Uzama a top priority this offseason. Vernon Hargraves, gone. He's the guy who jumped on the field celebrating in his street clothes and got him a penalty in the Super Bowl. Jesse Bates, that's a huge one. Eli Apple, that's interesting. Horrible in the Super Bowl, but honestly, he made plays throughout the season. You got your guard Quentin Spain, BJ Hill, that's a key piece they need to re-sign. So they do have cap space, but they're going to have to figure out how to bring some of these guys back.
Yeah.
And obviously, you're right. You fix that offensive line and you fix so many problems. Like, if Joe Burrow is not sacked 70 times next season, assuming if they can get back to the Super Bowl, it will be, if you drop that number from 70 to, I don't know, 46, pretty big improvement.
Which is still like a lot.
Yeah. Because he was sacked 51 times in the regular season, and then the stat was put out yesterday that if you count in the playoffs, 70. That's insane. And he sprained his MCL. So that's the injury of his knee, played through a sprained MCL. You got to keep that guy healthy. That's what we thought they were going to do in the last draft. I think they do it through free agency in the draft this year. I think they bring back a guy like CJ Uzama, who, watching through some highlights through the season, made just really big plays for the team.
Yeah.
So
they love him there.
Yeah,
they do. I think also, their defense 2 years ago was one of the worst in the league, and it got better this year, 1,000,000%. They went out and they got some big free agents last year during the offseason. They also still need to do that, especially if there's questions at the corner. You have guys that are not going to be there. They need to invest in corners as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you look at a guy, I don't know if the Packers are going to keep him, like Rasul Douglas. I think he's a guy who's afforded himself a pretty nice contract considering he came off the practice squad and he got a ton of picks, played pretty darn well, probably going to make some money. I mean, this is the Packers need to figure out, do they want to keep a guy like Devontae Adams, right, who's going to take up a sizable amount of money, or are you keeping guys like Devondre Campbell or Rasul Douglas and then probably another receiver? So, or they get Gronk.
I say you sign Uzama and Gronk. Like,
just make it crazy.
Gronk's a tight end who can block
blocks
very well, in addition to being just an incredible red zone threat, a deep threat. Like, he does everything. It's why he's a Hall of Fame tight end. Gronk and Uzama with those other receivers. Ooh, you don't necessarily have to upgrade tackle if you get Gronk. You just build that interior. And that's really where the Bengals issue is got that guard, that revolving guard position.
The Bengals, again, they're in a good spot. They just need to spend their money wisely. So to answer your question, the Ravens, I think, are easy contenders for that because if everyone's healthy and not everyone dies again, they should be just fine. They should be able to actually put together a team. Yeah. And I mean, especially like the run game, man. Like I was so hyped for the Ravens run game heading into this season, and I drafted them, and then they both died. So before they even saw the field. So you're able to get a run game going. You're able to build on those wide receivers a little bit. The Ravens are going to be back, I think. And who knows, maybe a guy like Zadarius Smith comes on home. It makes that pass rush a bit better.
Ooh, I'm coming home. So. Yeah, the Ravens, that's an easy one. They got Lamar Jackson. They were decimated by injuries. They'll be contending with the Bengals, I think, at the top of that division, unless the Steelers land a big quarterback in free agency. If they draft a good quarterback, I don't think it'll make an impact right away. But this is my favorite headline too, because it applies to every team. Steelers willing to swing big for quarterback. Broncos willing to swing big for. Of course they are. Every team that doesn't have a QB, if they think they can get one, they're going to try to do it. So, okay. Here's a tough one, though. The Panthers. The Carolina Panthers. In terms of...
And I like this comment.
No, Big Daddy, don't you dare. I know Von Miller said Mahomes is the best QB in the league. If he went there, that would be... Oh, my God. It was probably payback for Neil Smith coming to the Broncos and winning the Super Bowls with them. But I would... that would hurt. That would kill. I would rather see Von go to the Patriots than the Chiefs.
All right, now listen, Tom Brady on the Broncos or Von Miller on the Chiefs?
Give me Tom Brady. I could not live with
seeing
Von Miller as the Chief.
That's how much love there is for Von, huh?
Yeah, that would. Be
like watching, your franchise guy like go to a division rival. Yeah, can't imagine what that's like.
It's not that it's just a division rival. It's the best team in the division who has absolutely owned the Broncos for the last 6 years.
True. Maybe he goes in to destroy them from the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, Panthers, dude, they need a quarterback. Like, truly don't know what they're going to do there. Their defense showed up in the beginning of the year. They looked good. You're like, oh, man, here they come. And then everything went sideways. Sam Darnold was not the answer. Cam Newton wasn't the answer. PJ Walker wasn't the answer. All three of them were not the answer. And so at the same time. So I think that they need to also either swing big in free agency. Where are they for cap space, though?
Jason?
Panthers, they're number 16. So they got like 13 mil.
The worst thing you could say to me right there, Jason.
Yeah, they have 13 million right now.
Yeah. So they can keep Darnold. Cam Newton's not coming back. They got PJ Walker as a backup. Don't know the situation there. But here's why they could make a jump. It's because NFC South in 2022, wide open. Bucks don't have a quarterback right now. Bucks are the other team Deshaun Watson is doing his research on, his due diligence. Tom Brady is pseudo-retired. if he does come back, I don't think it's for the Bucks. They've got to Blaine Gabbert and Kyle Trask. Neither one of those guys is going to win the division for him. So you can easily argue the best team in that division is not going to win 13 games again. The Saints don't have a quarterback. The only quarterback in that division is Matty Ice. And he's good. But the Falcons are...
Who knows what's going on with Calvin Ridley? Like, they don't have Julio Jones anymore. Yes, they have Kyle Pitts, but they need more than that, so...
They needed the defense. They've got some young pieces on that defense. I really like AJ Terrell, but you could argue maybe the Bucks have the best roster for sure. The Saints have the best defense for sure, but the Panthers, they look good early. I don't trust Matt Rule yet.
Look at guys like Godwin. Godwin's going to be gone also. Their receiving core is going to get decimated. Mike Evans is great. He's been one of the best wide receivers ever since he came into the league, but it's going down, the guys that they're bringing back. I feel like Brady was definitely a big piece of that. And then, they went all in again to bring a lot of these guys back. So I don't...
Godwin, he's coming off an ACL injury. Yep. And for a wide receiver, I feel like that's the toughest position to get back to 100% at the following season. So
sure.
It's even if he comes back, it's not guaranteed he'll be as dominant as he has been. But I still don't think the Panthers can do it. They'll get J.C. Horn back at corner. Yeah. I think, he was looking promising. But, yeah, I'm not sold on the Panthers. Yeah. So, no.
Whoa! Alex with a hundo!
Wow, Alex!
So, and I love if the Jets can get Sting for Forsting or Alexander Hamilton. For the safety upgrade. Yep. Secondary hit free agency. They could be sneaky. Bills and Pats, not easy. Yeah. Honestly, Alex, I think the Jets are an interesting team. Zach Wilson came back and did not throw as many interceptions after he came back from injury. If he can improve and they, have a decent run game, they protect him a little bit more. They also need weapons for him. 100% need weapons for him. They could be pretty good because that defensive line is good. The secondary, like you said, does need work, but I like the coach, so it's possible. But I will say,
Johnny John John!
Here's what I like about the Jets. They do need another receiving weapon. So Devontae Adams definitely should be on their radar, on their list. Godwin.
Oh, yeah.
But the emergence of Braxton Berrios late in the season, one as a punt returner and two as just a great slot receiver. He was making that last month. It was every game he was making some sort of play for the Jets. They'll get tackle Mekhi Becton back. And I think if he's healthy, he's good. So you can argue that their line can get a little better. They can maybe add a piece in free agency or the draft to make the line a little bit better. And I think that will help out Zach Wilson quite a bit. Michael Carter, the running back.
Which one?
The running back. Both Michael Carters on the Jets.
He didn't do too bad.
No, he was starting to find his rhythm later in the season. So, yeah, it's just...
He also got hurt.
They looked so bad for so long. And even when Wilson was playing, it was they never put it together. They got some wins. But Wilson, you saw some flashes of talent, right?
Yeah.
That's what you even more so than I think Trevor Lawrence this last season. You saw Wilson make some throws that turned your head. He... there's something. I get why a team would be enamored with him. There's so much to improve on still.
Sure.
But with the Bills and the Pats in that division, no chance the Jets go worst to first. They could possibly be competing for the 2 spot in the AFC East towards the end of the season, but that's a stretch.
Yeah.
Maybe 2023 they could be a good team, but I don't see it next year.
Yeah, they just need pieces, and again, Wilson just needs to develop, and then they'll look a little bit better. Yeah, so I don't see it being the Jets either. Seahawks, man, I just don't know about that team. Like again, we don't know about Russell Wilson. I mean, that's going to be kind of like the key factor there. But they just like can't get it together like that. And listen, they have injuries that have definitely derailed, whether it's to their running backs or whether it's to Russell Wilson. You know, they do have injury issues, but it just seems like that team is never on the same page on both sides of the ball. It's either like the offense is doing really well or the defense is doing well. And there's no like, yes, they're doing well together. It's not doing it for me. I don't think that they can go worst to first.
No, I think that's why Russell Wilson needs to leave.
If Trey Lance is Jimmy Garoppolo but can run, the 49ers have a great shot at winning that division again. Because Raheem Mostert's going to be a free agent, but if they bring back Raheem Mostert, who they should be able to get relatively cheap, they're able to get a running game going. Their offensive line is already really good. They will be scary good.
Yeah. Or just draft a running back.
Yeah.
The Niners will be close. I don't even know what the Niners free agency situation is. But
Elijah Mitchell was a great find for them. I mean, he showed that he could take the entirety of the backfield. I'm like, okay, yeah, I got this.
Yeah. I feel like the Seahawks best case scenario would be competing for a second place spot in that division.
Yeah.
Like either the Rams or the 49ers got to take a step back for them to kind of compete. And the Cardinals are just a mystery team. Like what the hell's going on with the Cardinals? We don't know. Is Kyler Murray crazy or not? Don't know. Is he mad? Is he happy? No clue.
He put out that thing on Twitter. He's like, I'm just going to keep on working hard. And I was like, okay, I still don't know what the issue is, though. Like, that's a big thing. By the way, here you go. It's official. Kevin O'Connell is the head coach, was tweeted 1 minute ago of the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah. So that's kind of an interesting news piece because there's been rumors that Sean McVay could retire. It's weird that Sean McVay was non-committal about his future.
He's coaching. Like,
we'll see. I mean, like, that means there's a chance he might not do it. I think he comes back, but there's a thought that maybe if he was very serious about retiring, that the Rams would have kept Kevin O'Connell to make him the head coach. So to me, that says at the very least, the Rams probably believe Sean McVay will be back.
I think this is a great hire by the Vikings, unfortunately, too.
Yeah.
They needed an offensive guy. They needed one because they have had weapons on the offensive side of the field now for a couple of years, and they had that defensive-minded, guy in Mike Zimmer. And I think just like the Vikings need to shift. For them to be competitive, they need to shift. And that they've been so defensive-minded for so long, but like you have a top 5 running back in Dalvin Cook, you have Adam Thielen, you have Justin Jefferson, who are great.
And you say Kirk top 10 receivers, basically.
Yeah. Kirk Cousins is at minimum serviceable. So I think that at minimum.
Yeah.
So I think there's no reason why you're putting up only 10 points in a game. Like
Deshaun Watson would be so good in Minnesota.
Oh my God, it'd be disgusting.
I mean, the Vikings issue kind of for a while has been inconsistency on defense and dicey offensive line play.
Yes.
I feel like they've gotten better on the O-line, but
they did.
Like Deshaun Watson, like Cousins can make up for that with being, quick and efficient passing. But if you got a guy who can turn like a broken play into, either one thing Kurt doesn't do is when play breaks down, takes advantage of the whole field.
Sure.
Watson can do it with his legs and he can do it with his arm. Like it's what Mahomes does, what Josh Allen does. He's like in that same category. So the Vikings would be interesting if he went there, especially with an offensive-minded head coach like O'Connell that players like. Going from Bill O'Brien to Kevin O'Connell, that is a nice player upgrade in terms of the relationship you can have with your head coach, I think.
Oh, you mean Zimmer? Where did Bill O'Brien?
No, Bill O'Brien that's who Watson had before in Texas.
Oh, I thought you meant the Vikings. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing too. with Watson, I mean, I know a lot of people are talking about him, but there's so many concerns still about him.
Oh yeah.
There's the lawsuit, the fact that guy hasn't played football, like he didn't play at all last year. Like there's so many like that conversation's going to be stirred up again of what are teams going to be willing to deal for him. So yeah. I mean, we'll see. $45 million for Kirk Cousins, though, that works for me. That makes a good financial sense for me. But yeah, Vikings, they'll be competitive. We'll see who they actually have.
Cynical millennial. Thank you, cynical millennial.
All
right. So then we've got the AFC South. Since we just referenced Watson, let's just go to the AFC South. The Jaguars and the Texans. No. Neither team will be first place. Now, if I had to bet on one making a leap, though, say just to a winning record,
sure,
I'm taking the Texans, man. I think Davis Mills was arguably the best rookie quarterback. You put Davis Mills in New England, he's as good, if not better, than Mac Jones. Lovie Smith, I think he'll do an all right job as their head coach. And yes, the Texans are a mess. Their roster they're going to lose so many guys because they had so many one-year deals. Like the Texans would be incredibly interesting to follow this offseason because I don't know what they're going to do. They don't know what they're going to do.
Where are they in cap space?
But I like Davis Mills.
They're number 15. Okay.
Now, I like Trevor Lawrence. They need receiving weapons to help him. They need offensive line help to help him.
They want to build around Brandon Cooks. That has always ended well in every single team that has said Brandon Cooks is our guy. So
yeah, Cooks was really good last year too.
He was.
Might have been one of his better seasons. What was his stats like? But
no, Cooks was good. I just find it funny, like how many years in a row, like did teams just trade for him?
Yeah,
like
still only 28. That's what's insane.
It seems like he's been here forever.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so he's 8 seasons in the NFL. He started at 20. Last year, the last 2 years in Houston, both 1,000+ receiving seasons, 6 TDs. Yeah, it was one of his better years for sure.
Yeah, I mean, between the Texans and it all depends on what they do in free agency, though. The Jaguars have that flexibility that they have a ton of cap, so they can just throw money at people. I'm wondering, like guys like Cody Rhodes leaving AEW, if he's just going to sign with the Jaguars just from a PR standpoint, and they just pay him like a player, because I don't know what else they're going to do. I mean, yeah, I think the Jaguars have an opportunity. We'll see how much Trevor Lawrence is able to kind of grow, and if they actually. I like their head coach hire too. Like I like him a lot. So
Dougie Peterson?
I'm so sorry. No, I don't like that. I'm literally thinking of the Miami Dolphins right now. I was like,
Mike McDaniel.
Why am I thinking? I was like, yes, Mike McDaniel. I was like, yeah. Oh, I forgot that.
Broncos
Never mind.
Ball boy.
Jaguars aren't doing anything. Jaguars aren't doing anything. Never mind.
Yeah.
If they spend a lot of money wisely, then maybe they could. Also, if they start calling French fries chips at their stadium, I think that would help as well.
Yeah. Let's see here. The Texans have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 free agents.
Who was that?
28 free agents for the Texans.
Oh.
All of them unrestricted. No, all of them but 2 are unrestricted free agents. And they're all over the place. Tyrod Taylor, David Johnson, Malik Collins, Desmond King, Justin Britt, Kirksey, Cameron Gregory-Ale, AJ Moore, Amendola. Like, maybe the Jags do have a better chance. Either way, neither of those teams are going to be number 1. They're both bad teams, legit bad teams. The Bengals, the reason they made the jump is because they looked like a bad team, but it's because they lost Joe Burrow. And they might have just been a below average team if he finished out the season.
Correct.
So why are the Ravens in the thumbnail? Because they finished last in their division, tied with the Browns.
True.
But that's why they're an easy choice to go back to first. 8-9. Ravens.
Honestly,
Browns.
the team that one of the most intriguing teams for me in this offseason is in the AFC South, and it's the Colts. Like, what the hell do? They need a QB.
They just need a QB as well.
They need a QB. I mean, you have a potential MVP behind you in Jonathan Taylor. Get some receiving weapons, like just get better there. Like if they go out and get like a Chris Godwin and they're able to land a QB, because they're high up there in cap too. They're in top 10.
Yeah.
I think that they could be very good, but I just don't know if they're going to do that.
Yeah. It's like
they just get Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams.
Wow.
That team would be pretty good.
Dude, if I were Rodgers, I would seriously consider the Colts.
He doesn't have a choice, but yeah.
Rodgers doesn't have a choice?
No.
I think he does.
If it works out, but like he doesn't get to dictate where he goes.
He's got the no trade clause. He doesn't?
No.
Oh. They wouldn't do him like that. They wouldn't do him like that.
Have fun in the Texans, Aaron. How does
Okay.
Jackson handle being the last year of a rookie deal? That's a great question. If I'm the Ravens, I'm locking him up as soon as possible and trying to get that contract done.
Let's see here. I'm trying to see if there are any quarterbacks who will be free agents that could go to Indianapolis and help them. You got Mitch Trubisky,
Woo!
Marcus Mariota.
Yeah.
They already had Jacoby Brissett. Jameis Winston. Like, if you're the Colts, are you looking at Andy Dalton? Ugh, yuck.
43-8 memories.
Josh
Start getting a
Rosen.
$43 donation. 43-8.
Wow. Oh my God, flatulent one.
Now do you get it, Perna?
Yeah, flatulent one, bringing back the pain as a Seahawks fan. Just wait till I steal your quarterback, Russell Wilson.
Don't worry, Flatulent. He says the same thing to me every day.
God, I'm desperate. I know. I'm so desperate.
I'm telling you, we're just gonna grind you down until you're like, you know what? I'll take Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. I'm like the one woman at the bar who any guy can have, but like none of them want her because she's just like, that's how desperate I am.
I mean, you could be a guy at the bar too, and just
No, I want to be the girl at the bar.
okay. I mean,
I'm every guy at the
support-
bar, like none of the women want him, really.
well, is it because of the wedding ring on the finger that might deter some people? Oh,
I'm very happily married, though.
okay.
Oh, God, I am desperate for a quarterback. That is true. Okay. Speaking of desperation, Denver Broncos, 7-10.
That's what I'm talking about. Tyrod.
I like Tyrod Taylor. I would have taken him 2 years ago, but I am out. I am out on the Tyrods, the Bridgewaters, the Flaccos, the Keenums, the Cousins. I don't want any of them. Draft a quarterback. And if you suck with that you draft a quarterback and you start him from day one if you're the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
And if your team sucks, you draft the next quarterback next year. That's what I say you do. Easy. Because you might be able to get a good QB in the second round this year. So draft Carson Strong, start him day one. If you tank and you're in a position to take a QB in a better draft class next year, you do it until you find your damn guy. All right? That's the plan. Now, Denver, 7-10. Were they a bad team? A truly bad team? No. No. They beat the piss out of all the bad teams. They really beat them down, specifically the Dallas Cowboys. They just crushed the Cowboys.
Yep.
Great defense. They have skill players who just can't get the ball to them consistently. Running backs, check. Decent offensive line. They can get better at offensive line. They can get better possibly at linebacker, depending on what they do in free agency. Need an edge rusher. Maybe Von Miller comes back home. Don't know yet. But all they need is a damn quarterback. So you put a good quarterback on that team, easily they can go to first place. They will destroy the Kansas City Chiefs with Aaron Rodgers. They will split the series with the Chiefs with Russell Wilson. Gardner Minshew, he will go undefeated as a Denver Bronco. He will never lose a game as a Denver Bronco.
It's not true. I want you to get Ryan. I want you, just for you, because I love you so much, I want you to get Ryan Fitzpatrick and Gardner Minshew.
I would take Fitz and oh my God. Yes.
Just the content alone, Perna, would be glorious.
People love those guys.
Yeah. Subs would go up. Views would go up. I mean, your wins might not go up, but
hey, I've managed to get by without wins going up.
It's true.
If I got a sexy quarterback to help people be like, yeah, I want to watch. Like, I think one of the best videos this year was the best and worst the week after Minshew played. Just put Gardner Minshew in your thumbnail and be like, yep. Let me see what that guy did.
Then you start cosplaying as Gardner Minshew. You know, you start streaming shirtless.
And Minshew joins us every Tuesday on GPS.
We do shows on Tuesdays now?
Well, if he wants to. It's like the only day you can get,
the off days. Yeah. No, okay.
Like Rodgers on McAfee, we get Minshew every Tuesday.
I get Kurt.
Also, I got followed by Ben Kurt on Twitter yesterday. Shout out Kurt Benkert. He posted just an insane kill in Halo.
Oh, the 360 snipe. Yeah.
Yeah, like you couldn't even see where he aimed. No. And it was so fast. He's like, "What would you do if this happened to you?" And I just replied with "die." What would you? I would die. And he gave me a follow. So shout out Kurt.
There we go. Ben Kurt. If you try to take him, I'll kill you.
You can come back up the Broncos. We have a backup I really like in Brett Rippon, but
Kurt Benkert's starting it for the Broncos.
Hey, if he's good, I'll take him.
That was a smart answer. He
seems like a cool dude.
He is a cool dude. He is. I concur with that statement. All right, Perna, I want to ask you a question here.
Yes.
You put it in the rundown. OBJ, ACL, getting torn in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You're the Rams. How much money are you throwing at him?
Man, it's hard because he's probably not going to play most of next year.
The recovery is going to be a monster.
Yeah, and it's the second time. It's the same one, too. I don't know if I would pay him if I were the Rams.
Oh.
That's money you can spend on somebody who's going to contribute next year. And I think depending on who comes back for the Rams, you're kind of in that window. You know what I mean? If Donald comes back, you're in the window because you're probably going to lose Von Miller. Robert Woods should be back before Odell. And in my opinion, he's just as good in his role with the Rams as OBJ was. You would like to have both those guys on the field, but you got Cooper Kupp. So I think if you're the Rams, you make a play for Gronk. You try to get that tight end position to be a dynamic threat.
I think
he was decent. Then he kind of got hurt, and we saw Skoranek really not be good in the final two games for the Rams. So I would use that money to invest in someone else because I just don't think Odell's going to come back and play until late in the season.
Okay, listen. There's a team that need wide receivers. They need weapons. They made a big splash in free agency last season. Didn't work out. OBJ to the Giants.
We're a worse team. And no, the Giants will not. Well,
they will not. No, they will not.
That division, man.
I just want to see it. He signs and he balls out for 7. He comes back amazingly quick from the injury, balls out the first 7 games, and then gets traded to the Browns. I just want it to be full circle. full circle.
Wow.
Then he complains, and then he goes to the Rams.
Wow.
And that's all he does over and over and over again.
The Giants should try and trade Daniel Jones to the Colts.
They should try to get Kenny Golladay to see the field because they paid him a lot of money and he got a whopping 0 touchdowns.
Yeah. So Giants can't go worst to first. Commanders are going to be in the market for a QB as well. And that leaves us with the Lions, who I don't think they can get to first. But I think if there's a team who is a bad team that can actually make a leap, could be the Giants or the Lions. Could be the Lions.
Okay.
It felt like they kind of started to figure out their identity late in the season. Now, I'm not saying they're a good team, Tom, and I'm not saying they can go to first.
They need some help.
But I bet they could be better than the Bears next year.
Oh, damn.
Bet they could be better than the Bears. You got to go a whole season with Justin Fields. I know you got a new coach in town, but Justin Fields did not look good. I know the skills are there, but he did not
He also
look
got
good.
murdered behind the O-line. Like the jury's not out for me on Justin Fields. He also made some amazing plays and amazing throws. Like,
Yeah. He also turned the ball over at an alarming rate. You expect that from rookies.
Yes.
And no, he can be better than Jared Goff, but
They're going to lose Allen Robinson.
yeah. There's some big name receivers that are going to hit the market. Adams, possibly. Robinson, Godwin, Mike Williams, possibly.
Tom Grassi, still here.
Tom Grassi comedy.
Still here. Still here.
All right. Those are all the worst to first. We did it. So OBJ, his future, uncertain at best.
Yeah, I don't know. I just hope the Packers aren't on the bottom. But it's all going to depend.
Yeah, if Rodgers leaves, they could be a first to worst.
It could be. That is 100% accurate. I'm going to probably do a Packers video today, which is going to explore if the Packers should bring back Aaron Rodgers.
Whoa. If they should, huh?
Yeah. It's not going to go well. Because every time you say that, they're like, he's a Hall of Famer. And I'm like, yes, he is. He 100% is. I just don't know if paying like $70 million for 2 players is the way to go while then ignoring the rest of the needs of the team. I don't know. We don't see.
Yeah.
Nathan's hot dogs.
Nathan's hot dog, eh? So many ads just for looking at free agents.
Yep. Wait, Gesicki is a free agent?
Look at that. Mike Gesicki.
Ooh, I would take Gesicki in a heartbeat. If Tunyon
Hassan
doesn't
Reddick,
we don't have any money, but I'm dreaming.
That's an edge rusher. Ooh, Harold Landry. Tennessee will do whatever they can to bring him back. But if
James Conner, I have to imagine, is coming back. He was amazing for them.
Yeah. It's always like you look at these lists and then what's the franchise tag week?
It's the 22nd. It starts on the 22nd. It goes until March 8th.
Yeah. There'll be a handful of those dudes who get tagged.
Yep.
So that list will probably change pretty drastically, but there's some big names out there. There always is.
It's going to be a wild ride for the next couple weeks for Packers fans. Oof. It's going to be a wild ride.
Do you think Rodgers actually makes his announcement on what he's going to do on McAfee's show?
I think he might.
People were starting to say that he was going to do that this week without realizing that there was
no Pat McAfee.
Yeah. So it could be next week, maybe.
I mean, again, looking at when I think a lot of it, he flat out said he doesn't want to be there for a rebuild team. This is going to be a very unpopular opinion. I think if Rodgers and Adams comes back, Bakhtiari, Alton Jenkins, they're all healthy. If everyone's healthy from last year, the guys that we're going to lose I think you have a less talented roster than you do last year because of the amount of people who are going to leave if you bring back Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers. And I'm not saying they're going to they'll be rebuilding with Rodgers or that they'll be even bad, because I don't think that they'll be bad. But I think 2021 was like the most talented roster you were going to have. And I don't think you can replicate that for this season. Even if you bring back Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, like there's still going to be deficits there.
Yeah, they had it. I've seen that take too. Like people say the Packers should go all in with Rodgers, and like they did go all in. This is what just happened. They went all in and it just didn't work out. And that's the thing, like you can never account for injuries. They will ruin so many good teams' postseason chances.
Dude, but honestly, Bakhtiari, him getting injured potentially cost us a Super Bowl. Maybe two.
Yep. Easy.
So I understand your best chance I don't disagree with that. Listen, if you're a Packers fan, your best chance to win a Super Bowl is with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. I don't think there's anybody who would disagree with that. However, the question becomes, can you even get to a Super Bowl? Because the cost of bringing back those two players is so high, you're not going to be bringing back others.
Okay, so my question for you, Tom. Let's say one of your receivers, you can only keep one of your receivers, and it's not Devontae Adams. Which guy you want back?
I'm sorry, I was reading a super chat. What did you say?
Which receiver do you want back the most?
That's not Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams. What is it? Lazard and MBS, are they both up?
Lazard, MVS, Equinemius St. Brown, they're all up. Randall Cobb's probably going to get cut.
Yeah.
Like
if you had to bet on Lazard or MVS,
MVS just has a different skill set. He's the deep guy, so like it probably would be him. But the Packers' issues at wide receiver are, I did a whole video about this. It's more than just the guys that are leaving. They don't have anybody who could do it all except for Devontae Adams. They don't. MVS is the speed guy. Allen Lazard, he's consistent and he's reliable. That's it, though. He can't do the things that Devontae Adams can do. He can't be a speed threat. Like, that's an issue. Like, that's why Aaron Jones so many times is like a receiving threat, because we don't have him. And you could still operate an offense like that. But when you're about to have a complete exodus of wide receivers, it's a problem. It's an issue. So, yeah, I guess you keep MVS, but just because, again, you just don't have another guy who could be MVS. They don't have that skill set of stretching the field. So it's rough, buddy. It's rough. It's gonna be a very interesting offseason. Like, I understand the want and the need to be like, okay, no, one more year. Let's keep the door open. Let's keep the window open. We can do it. It's just, again, you're going to be competitive with Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback. We've seen this for the past 17 years that he's been there. It's just a matter of, can you win a Super Bowl with the exodus of talent that's going to occur because you're accommodating Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams?
Yeah. Here's another idea. Okay. They win it. They go all in for 2022.
Sure.
This is Aaron Rodgers last year on his contract, right?
Yes.
Let's say they don't give him an extension, but he's going to play out that 1 year.
He can't. We literally cannot have Aaron Rodgers on his current contract.
But let's just say he comes back and it's,
we added void years or some shit.
Okay,
like
let's say you add the void years. I'm not talking about the technical shit.
Okay,
I'll figure out.
Okay.
From your perspective,
yes,
all options are on the table.
Yes.
Would you rather have Rodgers come back for 1 more year, all in,
yep,
knowing he will not be there the following season, whether that's retirement or he goes somewhere else?
Free agent, yep.
Or do you get the value for him now?
And that's my point.
Because there's no guarantee you'll win the Super Bowl if he comes back.
Correct.
Would you rather have the picks to build for the future or just one more go with Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, again, I think it's all about the team that is surrounding him, because Aaron Rodgers can take you far. Don't get me wrong. He can get you into the playoffs. It's a matter of, can the team get over the hump and win the Super Bowl? And I think that you're going to be fielding a less talented team this year if you bring back Aaron Rodgers. So in my mind, I completely understand and, even like lean maybe towards getting the draft picks. And I'm saying that knowing the draft is not a sure thing. Like you never know. You could draft. If we get 3 first-round picks, all of them could be busts. Like, right? They could all be terrible. If they trade them to the Broncos might do so well. It might not be until the end of the first round anyway. I get all of that. The thing is, though, I just don't know about the talent of the football team if it can make it to the Super Bowl if you have those guys there.
Yeah, it's an interesting situation.
It's a very difficult situation because I thought these past 2 years, this team could have won the Super Bowl. 100%. I still think they could have. They came up short both times. Key injuries absolutely crushed them. They were dealing with injuries the entire year. And then, like you said, you can't account for it. What happens if you go all in and Aaron Rodgers gets hurt week 2? Again, it's all the what if game, but that's the reality of it. It takes if Bakhtiari gets hurt again, who knows if Bakhtiari's going to be the same? Like Bakhtiari getting all the liquid, drained from his knee and all that, like his leg and all that great stuff. You don't know. Elton Jenkins, we'll see what he's like when he comes back. Like there's a lot of questions. They have some great players on that team. It's going to be so difficult to try and make that decision. I do not envy Goody to try and make that choice.
Let him do donuts on Goodell's lawn. Yes. Yes.
And it's not like I'm ungrateful or being like, oh, you'll miss him when he's gone. I understand the best chance to win a Super Bowl is with Aaron Rodgers. I get that 100%.
Easy.
It's a matter of
Rodgers. You got a chance every year, but it feels like just looking at it, the last 2 seasons were their best chance. And I'm not sure next season will provide the same opportunity. Completely You're saying it. I just said it in a slightly different way, but without the extension, without multiple years for Rodgers, the Packers' best move might be to get the value for him now.
If he even wants to come back.
Yeah, he might just retire now.
Yep.
I mean, let's be honest. Jeopardy still hasn't named a permanent host. And if that's there, their ratings are through the roof on old Jeopardy.
There you
go. Oh,
well, we did it, Brenna. We made it. So, folks, we appreciate you tuning in. We're going to be taking Friday off. So we'll be seeing you next Monday, right? Next Monday?
Yeah, we'll do Monday. Might take off the rest of the week, but yeah.
Yeah, and then of course, if any crazy news happens, we'll see what's going on. But we appreciate you. We had over 2.8 million views in our first season of GPS.
You did that. You guys did that.
All of you
showed up.
We appreciate you.
Even when you didn't want to.
Said over 2,100 people here on a Wednesday, in which the NFL news is scarce. That's GPS, baby. That's GPS. So yeah, don't worry, we'll be back. Brandon Perna, what do you got coming out today?
Maybe a news video.
Okay.
NFL news.
Okay.
Just feeling a little unmotivated, but I think I can run with this Watson angle. I've got some other nuggets in there. Some great jokes.
Oh yeah.
It'll be a real, like all my other videos. Sometimes there's good spots and a lot of bad spots. You, Tom?
I might do that Aaron Rodgers video today. And then I don't know if I'm going to do a reaction video today. It'll either be one or the other, or both. But it would be another AFC North team.
Ooh.
So, there you go.
All righty.
So we going to get that content out, baby. We going to get that content out. But folks, thank you so much for watching. Again, we'll see you on Monday for GPS. I'm Tom Grossley. That's Brandon Perna. This is GPS. And you've been navigated.
And you've reached your destination.